Although again, man, those streetlights are really insanely bright. I don't know why picking up like that on here. Anyway, so back with whoa, the sun just went nowhere. Anyway, back with the Drive Home Reviews Classic. I tried a couple reviews with my phone up here. I didn't like it as much, so back to the old school way of doing things. This is one I saw a trailer for a few weeks ago when I went and saw Everybody Loves Somebody, and I was like, okay, I really want to see this because it looked cute, and it really was. This is one of the. I don't want to oversell it. I don't want to say it's perfect. It's not, but this is probably one of the better comedies I've seen in a long time. This is a comedy like I like my comedies. You know, okay, that's better. This is a comedy that kind of like Everybody Loves Somebody, that has a real connection to the characters. The characters are very human, and all in all, yeah, it was a good movie. It was a really good movie, and I haven't seen a movie like this in a long time, and I really wish that there were more movies like it, to be honest with you. So, in case you haven't heard of this movie, which it wouldn't surprise me if you hadn't, this is about, so there's a wedding going on, and table 19 is kind of the reject table at the wedding reception, where they seat all these people who, you know, nobody really wants there. It's those kind of people that you just kind of invite because they're a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. So at this table, you've got this married couple who own a diner. The Kemps, I don't know, but played by Lisa Kudrow, and the guy who played, I think, Daryl from The Office, you know, the guy who worked down on the loading dock. It's got the father of the bride's nephew who is on parole for stealing a bunch of money, and that's played by, again, this is a guy whose name I can never remember, but he's Ricky Gervais' friend, the really tall, skinny British guy who's always doing stuff with Ricky Gervais. A teenager whose mother basically sent him to the wedding in hopes that he would get lucky, because basically she figured he would have better luck at the wedding than he would at his junior prom, which was going on the same night. The bride's former nanny, and Anna Kendrick, who was the maid of honor until she got dumped via text by the best man, and then got kind of shunted down the ladder. So you got these. It's your standard kind of Breakfast Club formula. You know, all the losers kind of together, and the bonding that goes on when people kind of that lost and that sad and that kind of, you know, broken all find each other. And it sets out to be a certain thing, and it pays off. This is a movie I really like because it feels like a play to me. It feels like this could be on stage. It would be so easy for this to be adapted for the stage, you know? And the comedy of it is it's very based on the characters. You know, the comedy of it is very character based, and it's also in a way kind of subtle. You know, there's one slapsticky kind of moment, but for the most part, the comedy is very natural. You know, it's stuff people would say and people would think. The skinny guy, the skinny British guy, again, I gotta learn this guy's name. I gotta learn a lot of these people's names when I do reviews. Anyway, he's a little out there, you know, he's that one who's a little too stupid, you know, a little too naive to really be real, but still, it's just enough. He's not going completely over the edge. It's just enough to make it humorous and make his character a little offbeat, and therefore, make him feel like he's a little, he's awkward, he's left out, So I really liked it, and more than that, again, when I say the comedy is very character-based, I mean, like, this movie is not afraid to, it has its comedy moments, it has its really funny moments, but then it's not afraid to go, okay, but let's take a moment with these characters and really, really know them and know what's, I don't know a better way to put it, know what's hurting them. It's a cliche, but it's true, as most good cliches are, that comedy comes from pain. Not just physical pain, but emotional pain. That's where humor is born, as a way to, as either, if you're being a dick, laughing at somebody's misfortune and going, ha, 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 or from the concept of sometimes things hurt so bad that the only way to deal with it is to laugh at it. And from those two concepts, that's where the idea of comedy comes from. And this film, better than any film I've seen in a long time, is not afraid to let its characters be flawed. I mean, none of these people at this table are perfect. Other movies that would kind of try to take this concept and run with it would make that everyone else at the party is a jackass, and these people are just the misunderstood folk who really know what's going on. And that's not true. Other people at the parties are jackasses, that is true, but none of these people are perfect. A lot of them, like in Anna Kendrick's case and Lisa Kudrow and Daryl's case, and even in the Skinny British Guy's case, they're kind of the architects of their own misfortune, So they're not guiltless in the things that are going on. And the movie is not afraid to say that they're not guiltless. But it's also smart enough to say, yeah, these people may have done this or that, but that doesn't mean they're bad people, and that doesn't mean they deserve to be hurt like this. And I really appreciate that. I appreciate that dose of reality. Again, I like that I can relate to these characters. You can watch these characters and go, I understand that pain. Even if I've never been through it specifically myself, I get where it's coming from. And this is just a really great ensemble cast. Everybody in this really works well off each other. A couple people I got to point out, I think that deserve that thumbs up. Number one, I got to give big props to Lisa Kudrow, who is by far, well, maybe not by that far, Courtney Cox pretty much, but I think Lisa Kudrow is probably the most talented member of the Friends cast. Now, I was never really a fan of the show, but I always love how, for a while those people were like the biggest thing on the planet, and none of them have done anything really great outside of Friends since. Hollywood keeps trying to convince us that Jennifer Aniston is a movie star, and we keep saying, no, she's not, but no, they keep trying. But Lisa Kudrow has definitely got the acting chops, and definitely, she's very real in all of her performances. I think that's why she played that character on Friends so well, is that she never comes off as fake. And now she's gotten older, so her characters have gotten older. And, she's playing more mature roles and doing it very well and very believably. And, I really enjoy her. I enjoy her in just about anything I see her in. She's the only member of that cast I can say that of. So yeah, she does a really killer job in this, and you gotta give big ones to Anna Kendrick. I'm willing to admit it. I adore Anna Kendrick. I have a huge crush on Anna Kendrick. Anna Kendrick is just. This is gonna sound so condescending, and I don't mean it to sound condescending. She's just adorable. She's just got the right look, and she plays this type of character so well. I don't know why? You know, and this is a very shallow thing for me to say, so I hope any ladies who know me who are watching this, please forgive me for kind of a sexist, shallow thing. But she plays these characters who are constantly dumped and constantly put upon so well that you just go like, who the hell would dump her? It's Anna frickin' Kendrick. You know? Anyway, I'm sorry. That's terrible. That's a stupid thing. But anyway, but she really does a great job in this playing. I think her character, since her character is kind of the focal point, she kind of has the most range she has to cover. You know, we see her when she's brokenhearted and distraught. We see her when she's being a screw-up and being rude and all that. We see her when she is being kind of sarcastic and funny. We see her when she's being very natural and real and talking about the things that frighten her. And again, the mark of a true, really great actor is that at no time does it feel like the character is that she's playing a different character anytime. And I know that sounds a stupid thing to say, because of course that's what you want, that's acting. But I mean, you see so many comedies where, you know, there's no acting involved. You know, the people are just playing a jackass the whole time through, and when they try to give them a motivation, or they try to give them a scene where they're not playing strictly a jackass, it feels so unmotivated and so alien because the character is so alien. You know, and I think this movie is probably the best movie I've ever seen her in. And I've liked her in just about everything I've seen her in, even movies I wasn't particularly fond of. I'm not a big fan of the Pitch Perfect films, but she's good in them. I was a big fan of Mr. Right last year, where she played a little bit more saucy version of this character. But this one really shows that this young lady can act, and she can be the emotional center of a film. You know, we knew she could do comedy, we know she can sing, but this is the first one I've ever seen her in where I'm like, she can carry that weight. And again, I won't even say that she's the star of the film. Her name is first in the, you know, on the poster and all that. But again, it is a true ensemble cast. These people are all working off each other. And yeah, her character is kind of the central character, but I can't even go so far as to say she's the star of it. You want a good example of this? Just watch the first 3 minutes of this movie. The first couple minutes of this movie is virtually a silent scene with her looking at the invitation to the wedding and deciding if she's going to RSVP or if she's going to say she's going to decline. And there's no dialogue. It's just her reactions, and in that scene, in that little bit, that's her entire performance. She goes through all these different emotions, goes through them seamlessly and logically, moving from one to the next, and really nails it. You understand everything she's going through and everything she's feeling, and it sets up the entire movie. It sets up her entire character. Everything you need to know is right there. And I was just from that moment, I was just kind of like, you know, whoa. I also got to say this. This is something else I got to mention just before I forget. If nothing else, this movie is already gonna. If the year ended here and I had to do a top 10 list, this movie would be number one. If for no other reason, this is the first movie I've seen in God knows how long that only had 2 production studio logos before the film. You know? Oh man, I was so knocked out by that. Like, it does the Fox Searchlight pictures. It does the second one, which whatever independent film company, you know, did it originally before, you know, selling it to the Fox Searchlight. And then the movie started. And I'm not used to that. If I remember correctly, when I went and saw Logan last night, like, that had 4 or 5 or 6 different goddamn logos in front of it. And again, I watch CinemaSins online, so all you can hear is that voice. 30 seconds of logos, 40 seconds of logos. This had 2 logos, and we were right into it. And they were quick logos. They weren't even like drawn out. Like boom, boom, movie. And I'm just like, well, shit. So for no other reason, this is the best movie of the year so far for the fact it only had 2 logos. But yeah, I mean, this, God, I said this when I did the Everybody Loves Somebody review. This is the second comedy I've seen in less than a month, and they've both been really good. And I have missed going to comedies and enjoying them. And I've missed going. This movie shows that you can be funny, you can have an uplifting picture, but it can be about more. Just because you're saying, I get really tired of people who say, well, what do you expect? It's only a kids movie, or it's only a sci-fi movie, or it's only a comedy. What do you expect? That's not an excuse. That's not an excuse to slack off, And this movie, you can tell whoever wrote it really, really cared. And like I said, I would, if I ever met the person who wrote this movie, I would really try to convince them to adapt it for the stage. I would love to direct a stage version of this show. And I could do it. You could do it in a community theater, edit the language a little bit. There wasn't even that much bad language or anything. You could do it for a high school. I mean, I would love to direct a stage version of the show. It's that good. And it's, like a play, it really does rely on the characters, the ensemble. And that's another thing we don't see a lot of. We're used to the star, the star vehicle, and this one really does make you care about all the characters at this table. Yeah, I mean, I can't really talk much more about it, not because there's much to spoil, but because it's such a simplistic story, such a simplistic idea, and really all you can say about it is that it's a story about people, and as dumb as it sounds, we don't get a lot of those anymore. You don't see a lot of stories about people actually dealing with each other and dealing with emotions and dealing with life to this level anymore, and that's kind of sad. So I recommend this one. It's not perfect. If I had to give it like one critique, and this is a stupid one, no, I'm not going to spoil the endings or anything like that, even though it's not a big, who gotcha Shyamalanian twist kind of thing, is that I do feel that the ending is a little bit too romantic comedy, a little bit too, every romantic comedy ever, and that doesn't ruin the film for me, and it made logical sense in the world of the play, the world of the film, but, and maybe it's just me being me, but I kind of would have liked it if the film ended without everything being so easily resolved. Especially for Anna Kendrick's character specifically. I would have liked it if it didn't have the neat little bow put on it. If maybe we were left with either a little bit more ambiguity, a little bit more of, we don't know what happened. Maybe this happened. But then again, if it didn't, she's still going to be okay, and all the other characters are still going to be okay. Or, we could have even gone this route. It didn't have to end with ambiguity. It could have ended with, there's no quote-unquote happy ending, because it's a film about life, a film about, ups and downs of life, and life doesn't end. Life doesn't end until death. Life keeps going past the happy ending, quote unquote. And it would be nice to kind of say, okay, today didn't end in the way you kind of thought it was going to end, but that's okay. The characters are still going to be able to go on. That's me. And again, it doesn't ruin the film for me by any means, because it still feels like a natural ending. It made sense within the logic of the world they'd set up. But there is this part of me, and maybe that's just the sad, lonely, single guy talking. But there's that part of me that didn't want it to end with the nice bow on it. Wanted that more, again, kind of, up in the air kind of ending. So, but that's a nitpick, really. The rest of the film, I can't really complain too much about. I really enjoyed it, and I really hope that if this film is playing near you, if you're in Tennessee or you're in the Memphis area, Ridgeway Cinema Grill for it. If you're one of the folks I know in Alaska who's watching this, I don't know where this is going to play, if it's playing. If for some reason you're someone I don't know who's watching this, and but what I'm getting at is, please go see this movie. It's probably not going to be out long, and it's only going to be in smaller theaters. I doubt you're going to find it in any of the big ones. They're busy with this kind of March pre-summer thing that they've got going on. But please go see this movie. If you like comedy, you like character-driven pieces, you're gonna like this. It's a good film, and it's like I say, I want to see more movies like this. I miss movies like this, and I want to see them done more. And the only way they're gonna do that is if something like this makes a decent amount, or can at least break even. So so this is one of those. I'm trying to think. But this is the first film I've seen this year that I really feel I want to make sure people go out and see. If anybody's listening to this and anybody, is on the fence, seek this movie out. I really want people to go see this movie. All the other ones I've reviewed this year are ones that people have already seen, or films that you pretty much knew you were going to go see anyway. With maybe the exception of Everybody Loves Somebody. But a lot of these other ones have been much bigger pictures that people already knew what they were going to do with it. So this one I really want to get people out. As much as I hate Manchester by the Sea and was begging people to stay away from it, this one I'm going the opposite route and say this one's a good one, guys. This is a genuinely human film, a genuinely good movie. And I really want people to go and give it its due. Again, I don't want to oversell it. I don't want anyone to go see it and go, you jackass, you told me this was the greatest thing ever. I mean, it's not, but it's something that I think we need. So that was a surprise review. I'm thinking of going to see one more tomorrow, depending on how my day shakes out. So I might do a triple threat this week. Before spring break, and if not, then you got 2 this week, so yay. So until next time, whenever that is, drive safe, and I'll see you at the movies.